Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the world of Fate Stay Night. Where we last left off, there was a whole lot of fighting. My voice was really tired after reading a whole lot of intense fighting. It pretty much was just like about an hour and a half straight of intense yelling and intense reading. And the fight scenes in this have been varying. Like, I thought that last one was a really good one. The one with Assassin was okay. Oh, I didn't enjoy either of the Lancer fights personally, but just like the only way I can get into the fight scenes is if I'm like reading them very intensely, but those are really freaking draining to do that. But we've still got 3 servant fights to go, and I'm just assuming that we're gonna have to do all of them. I don't think we're gonna get lucky enough that some of them are gonna take each other off screen. Had an awful day. Ilya is your only salvation now. Well, Ilya's partner's dead. Ilya's maybe not dead. I don't. We haven't figured out. We don't know what's going to happen with Ilya. Maybe Ilya's just going to go back to her broken home, and it's going to be really sad. But at least she's going to have some maids. Or maybe we're just going to kidnap her, and she's going to live with us because like Shiro is just full on like, yeah, let's just have a bunch of ladies live with me. I'm cool with that. We'll figure it out how it goes along, but. First, before we get into it, I do want to do my musical theater performance, both to keep the vocal cords warmed up, and also because hopefully you enjoy it to a degree out there. I'm gonna sing You Don't Know from Next to Normal, just a short little ditty. The song sung by the protagonist, she has gone through a lot of trauma issues in her life. And currently, among other things, she is seeing her debts. She's saying things she shouldn't be saying, and her family's trying to help her out, but it's just like there's still that wide gap, and it's just a byproduct of mental health issues. It's just like it's so hard to get on the same page, even if you're trying your best, like truly trying with all your heart to get on the same page. It's still so hard to be able to do that, but. And I think this song does a decent job of conveying that. Do you wake up in the morning and need help to lift your head? Do you read obituaries and feel jealous of the dead? It's like standing on a cliffside, not knowing when you'll dive. Do you know what it's like to die alive? When the world that once had color fades to white and gray and black. When tomorrow terrifies you, but you'll die if you look back. You don't know. I know you don't know. You say that you're hurting. It sure doesn't show. You don't know. It lays me so low when you say let go, and I say you don't know. The sensation that you're screaming but you never make a sound, or the feeling that you're falling but you never hit the ground. It just keeps on rushing at you day by day by day by day. You don't know what it's like to live that way, like a refugee, a fugitive, forever on the run. If it gets me, it will kill me, but I don't know what I've done. I love that song. Oh, that's such a fun one. And it goes on into Trio, which I actually sung on stage for my final in college. And it was a very good time, but just like, don't think I can sing 3 parts and it'll still be even remotely decent. Especially when my voice is not at 100%. In case you did not know, on Sunday, we had the 6+ hours wrestling mega stream on my buddy Brobo Rangers Go channel. Just gonna shout that out. Is it artsy for me to say this? I'm going to say it. It was art. It was like 6 hours of like really fun, well done wrestling nonsense in the best possible sense. So I would highly recommend, like, it's 6 hours, so don't do it in one sitting like I did with my voice, but I would recommend watching that if you have like even the slightest inclination in wrestling or just storytelling and the nonsense that can come along with it. Yeah, I do need to have more confidence. Say like what I'm doing is autistic, but like I meant that in about the artsiest fartsiest way possible when talking about calling a fake wrestling show, which is why it felt weird. But dang it, I genuinely felt that way about what Bromo and I accomplished that night. He did 90% of the work, but it's just like it's still like it was such an honor to legitimately a part of such a really cool series. But we still have a lot of problems going on in the world of Fate Stay Night. Notably, there are still three servants left. We have Lancer, Assassin, and Caster, who notably we haven't met. We haven't met Caster. We haven't met any of those masters. We have no idea who they are. We have no idea who the master of Lancer, Assassin, or Caster are. Although either Caster or Assassin hypothetically is the witch who is living at the shrine. But outside of that, I legitimately have little clue who the other two masters are. I do have my theory about Glasses Girl, but we'll see. We will absolutely see what the heck is going to happen. It is so up in the air, and I love it. The sky was still pale gray. Was it dawn or dusk? It's hard to tell. The vast sky overhead and the wide fields stretching out on all sides. That sounds like a good idea. I think I'll go ahead and do that. Urgh. Sky seemed close enough to touch. Clouds low enough to grab a hold of. Feels like cotton candy. This was one of the battlefields she fought on, but there was no longer any cavalry in her service. The sprawling golden meadows are gone, switching to generic narrator voice. Instead, unfolding under the dull sky was the remnant of a battlefield. No emotion. She must have seen this kind of thing almost daily. Her desolate heart was... And she leaned against the golden sword. She exhaled deeply and let her shoulders relax. Battle must have ended. After glancing over the bodies of the defeated soldiers, she returned to her camp. Those were the battles she experienced. But I feel bad I didn't say this before. I'm sorry you've had a really bad day, Skeet. I hope you're feeling better. I hope some silly voice acting nonsense can help you feel a little bit better as we enjoy the adventures together. Her cold demeanor remained unchanged. No matter the predicament she's in, she remained just like the woman I have always known. Is this Shiro? Is this Shiro, or are we going to have someone else from her time period be a character? Is Merlin going to be the caster? Why am I making myself paranoid? Oh boy. And then I see the dream of a king. I dreamed a dream of a king. The moment she drew the sword, she stopped being human. She took over for her father as a feudal lord and became a king with many knights. She was known as King Arthur, or Arthurius. Let's ignore that other word. The life of the girl who once aspired to be a knight changed so radically. She acted like she was the king's son. The ruler of territories and knights had to be male. Only her father and the mage knew the king was female. I'm guessing that, well, it seemed from all the battlefields we've seen like she's the only one who ever survived, so yeah, she can get away with that. She covered herself in iron and hid that truth for the rest of her life. There were those who had their suspicions, The king of knights who wielded the sacred sword knew neither injury nor age. Excalibur was blessed with the protection of the fairies, making its possessor immortal. Fairy godparents! As such, nobody questioned her tiny frame, which was much too small for a knight, or her true face, which may have appeared girlish. Instead, she was hailed as a truly beautiful king. And in fact, the king was invincible. Neither size nor appearance mattered. Those who lived in fear of the savage invaders desired a strong king, and the valid knights would follow only a true superior leader. The king satisfied each of those conditions by being blonde hair and blue-eyed. Sorry. Easy, cheap joke. And so no one questioned the king's identity. It did not matter if the king was a child nor a woman. All that mattered was that the king protected the nation of domination. The new king was fair and selfless, and always stood on the front lines, fighting and defeating the nation's enemies on the battlefield. Many enemies and citizens died, but the king was always just, and she played her role as king better than anyone else. There was no room to suspect otherwise, and any such suspicions would be pointless while the king was right in any case. She knew no defeat on the battlefield. Her army reformed the lost cavalry, then charged across the battlefield, defeating foreign infantry and smashing through their defenses. Did she always stand on the front lines because her nation was behind her? Before she headed out to battle, she had to cast aside so many citizens. Once she was on the battlefield, she had to cut down all of her enemies. As her battles were fought in defense of her nation, it was common to wring villages dry to support the army. In that sense, no knight killed as much as she did. I can't tell if she ever really felt that burden. It's not something I really know from a dream. If King Arturia is not careful, she's absolutely going to cause a war of 1812 with all this just staying in people's homes and taking their stuff nonsense. But I do know she didn't have a moment's doubt or hesitation on the battlefield. Grief never touched her thoughts as she sat on the throne. A king fought human. Human emotions would make it impossible to protect people. She kept to her oath, never wavering. She addressed the issue facing her nation, and she worked on matters of political concern. She ruled without wavering, and she punished the deserving without error. I feel like that's a little bit cocky. That's probably a little bit too much legend. Without error? We really gonna say she's perfect with that sort of thing? Alright. You're the victor, you get to write the narrative. And after winning so many battles, unifying so many clans, and punishing hundreds of criminals, King Arthur doesn't have a human heart. One of the knights in her entourage muttered this. Everyone must have felt the same way. The more perfectly she carried herself as a king, the more everyone questioned their monarch. There is no way someone devoid of human emotion can rule humans. Several reputable knights left the White Castle of Camelot, but the king accepted this as inevitable and incorporated it into her. And so the fair king, once admired by her knights, began to isolate herself. Such trivialities were no concern to the king. Even if she was deserted, feared, or betrayed, her heart would remain unchanged. It couldn't be helped. The moment she took that sword, she abandoned emotions. And then, her final battle began. The battle at Baden Hill ended in a complete victory, and that inescapable conclusion led to savage clans finally offering peace. And so the nation that had been holding its breath, waiting to be destroyed, knew a moment of peace. The age of warfare, where a nation leaned on a singular hero, came to an end. Britain was finally going to become the nation she'd always dreamed of. Expanding the empire and taking over and ruling over other places, most of which didn't want to be ruled over. Well, all done thanks to Arthur. Well done, Arthur. You're the best. Thank you for imperialism. The scene starts to fade. I realize the dream is ending. About to win. Dang it is Shira. But before that happened, something happened that really me off. She's stupid. Oh, she's strong and she's a gifted fighter, but there's a difference between good at fighting and being cut out for it. The people around her, they also me off too. If she didn't notice it, someone around her should have and told her, and she would go on making the same mistakes forever. Yeah, our narrator got very sassy because our narrator is a teenage boy with way too many hormones. Seriously, how the did she have so many people around her, and not one told her the truth? I wake up. We escaped Ilya's fortress and returned home yesterday afternoon. We're alive. We're actually alive. Hello, Atkash. How are you doing today? We've survived death again. We're probably gonna die a whole lot more. Yeah, she was also probably responsible for a lot of inbreeding. Although, like, that might have been the fault of, like, her forefathers. I don't think we can put that solely on Arthur. But she gets some of the blame. Osaka went back to her room, complaining her tummy was hurting, and my headache wasn't getting any better, so we all decided to go take a nap. Must have been the extra weight I was lugging around. As soon as I got in bed, I couldn't get back up. She only had one son with her sister. Just one. Just a little bit of inbreeding. Just a little bit of incest. Knowing the visual novel genre, I'm going to have to be satisfied. I will have to accept that, like, there's guaranteed to be some incest. That is just a fact of visual novel life. But how many daughters? That's a fair question, Atakash. I don't know if I want to know the answer. Saber was the only one who seemed fine, and Tosaka and I left her to guard the house while she slept, and then... So I slept for half a day. Well, at least my headache's gone. I'm relieved. The whole thing with Berserker, the headache I got after copying Saber's sword, it was a lot. If it had kept up, my head might as well split down the middle. And then I notice... Ah! Saber is sitting on the floor, right next to my head. Oh, so embarrassing. Saber, why are you glaring at me like that first thing in the morning? Did something happen while I was asleep? You held my sword, Master. Ooh-woo. Yeah, he did hold her sword. He made her sword. He made her sword, and the two of them, they held hands with the sword. Do I have access to that menu here? No, we don't have access to that menu here. Dang it. No, I simply had to draw. Wait a second. You can see the picture in the flowchart. We get the cool picture of Shiro doing something cool for once and holding a girl's hand. No, I simply had a dream. Did they cross swords? It was only one sword. They crossed with it. They did pierce with it. They did penetrate with it and sliced with it. The two of them did that together. So yes, we can say that. No, it's nothing. Let us have breakfast. It is time to wake up. Saber gets up and heads silently out of my room. It's the power of bonding! And I have like 8 hearts built up with her somehow. Throughout this game, we're building up heart points, and we're apparently going all in with Saber, even though, like, not, like, super intended to do that. But we're still doing it. What was that about? We need... hopefully we get Tiger Mom back. I miss her so much. I miss Best Girl Taiga and Best Girl Sakura. The two best characters. We haven't seen them in days. I miss them. We haven't seen them in, like, a week. I don't know why Saber's acting strange. I'm not really sure, but if she was sitting by my bedside the whole time, was she nursing me back to health? They went to get milk and cigarettes. Yeah, they went to get milk and cigarettes at the hospital right now. I know that they can serve milk and cigarettes in the hospital. Like, they still had that in the early 2000s, right? The moment I have that thought, the scene from last night comes back to my head. What the heck am I thinking? I shake my head to get rid of the impure thoughts. Thank you. I didn't want to have to already bring in TOS Tonberry. But he is here. He's always watching. That night, my contact with Saber was entirely about my duty as a master. If I didn't rationalize it like that, I'll never be able to look at Saber again. Calm thoughts, calm thoughts, calm thoughts. Saber with her blouse all the way open. Wait, that's not a calm thought! We acted normal when we were coming home yesterday. That's all I needed to do. No, I was actually just tired yesterday, but I still need to act normal. Besides, Saber wouldn't like me acting like this. She'll probably hit me over the head with a sword and concuss me again. Okay, I need to calm down and make breakfast. I take a deep breath. And get changed. It's 9 in the morning. Saber hasn't eaten since lunch. She must be hungry. When's the last time? Like, you haven't eaten in, like, 30 hours-ish? 9 is so late. It's practically not even morning anymore. And as hungry as Saber must be, I should make a hearty breakfast. I don't know if you've had anything to drink in also 30 or so hours, too. The game has not made that clear. Sure, it is just you and I this morning. Do we not need to wake up Rin? Oh, everyone's still asleep. And considering what happened yesterday, it's probably best to let them sleep. We took Ilya with us, didn't we? We took the murder child home with us, didn't we? Unless, hopefully, we went to the hospital and brought Taiga home with us. That's my hope. Hoping we have Taiga, please. I see. Then I would appreciate it if you prepared the meal quickly. It is much later than usual. Please be Taiga. Please be Taiga or Sakura. Taiga or Sakura. I know. I feel better now. Let's head to the dojo once we finish eating. The dojo? You intend to continue your training with me? Why not? It's our daily routine. All the Saber blush faces are here. Like, I really want to know if, like, she wouldn't be making as many blush faces if we didn't have as many points as we have with her. What's wrong, Saber? Did I say something weird? No, I just assumed we would no longer be training. We still have 3 servants to beat up! With Berserker defeated, I thought there would be no further reason for you to continue training as we had been. I see. You know, you may be right. Common enemy we all share in Berserker is gone now. We teamed up to take on an enemy far stronger than us, and that's also why I trained so furiously in such a short period of time. But I'd like to keep training. I'm still an untrained mage, and I get to see the real you when you are in the shower. I mean, when you wield that sword. That makes it easier for me to talk to you, too. Well, I say easy. What I mean to say is, I kind of enjoy it. I like it when she beats me up. New fetish unlocked. So I reveal my true self when I'm in the dojo. You sure do. At least you don't hold back. I prefer it that way. Besides, I think you get to loosen up as well. Anyway, our routine has been us sparring in the morning. Don't take away one of the few pleasures I have. I take ground beef and pork, green onions, mushrooms, onions, eggs out of the refrigerator. What are we doing with ground beef and pork? You doing meatballs? Well, then I have no objection. Huh? Saber mumbles quietly to herself in the living room while I work. Can't quite hear what she's saying in the kitchen. Are we doing a breakfast burrito? Smack, smack, pound, pound! I mix onion, panko, sake, eggs, salt with flour, 400 grams of ground beef and pork, and knead it all together! I've decided to be bold today, so I'm making hamburger steak for breakfast. Ooh, going all out. Ren, are you awake? Saber's voice drifts out from the living room. Osaka. I glance back over my shoulder as I cook. Uh-oh. Someone's a grumpy Gus today. Morning. I'm going to pour myself a cup of milk. Cheer out. Are you having a hangover right now? Did you have like a celebratory drink after we won? Osaka comes in, looks super grumpy, and just grabs a carton of milk out of the fridge. Slept too much. My head hurts. Hey, what's this? You're really going all out this morning, aren't you? Where'd the grumpy face she'd been making a second ago come from? Her eyes are practically sparkling now. Oh, that looks good. And here I was starting to get hungry. This is perfect. Ren lost a servant. She deserves a whole milk carton. I guess. But hey, she doesn't have to deal with that annoying jerk anymore, who's absolutely 100% a jerk that we don't know his origins of, who we all hate. We absolutely hate that guy. Is that so? Well, she's the one who gets to enjoy herself here, not me. Reminds me of what my old man used to say. Someone gains, someone else loses. I've thought this before, but you've got a keen eye. Well, I'm just a discerning sort. Looking forward to this breakfast you're making, though. She waves her head back to the living room. With a glass of milk in one hand, Tosaka plops down on the table. Seriously? I don't know where she gets off acting like the king of the castle here in my house. This is why we need Taiga here. Save me, Taiga! You are certainly lazy today, Rin. Yeah, way to go, Saber! Saying everything I wish I could. No, she has her own house. Get out of here! Just like, you can stay if you're going to teach me magic, I guess, but it's my house. It's my house, it's Taiga's house, it's Sakura's house, and now it's also Saber's house. Everyone else can get out. Tosaka dismisses Saber's criticism nonchalantly by just agreeing with her. Of course I'm lazy now. With Berserker gone, now we just have to deal with Caster, Lancer, Assassin. That's nothing compared to Berserker. Should be a total cakewalk for you, Saber. You do not know that defeating Lancer and Assassin may not be as straightforward as you think. Ren is the mage, is the two mage in town. Like she said in the beginning, she owns all the workshop here, which now includes yours. Oh man, I just want to put metal rods in my spine in peace. Well, I don't need a lady staring at me as I'm doing that. It makes a guy nervous. And we have yet to even meet Caster. Don't be so humble. No ordinary heroic spirit is any match for King Arthur. We solved your magic energy problem, so there's no servant who can beat you now. Saber narrows her eyes at Tosaka. I have the same reaction. You shouldn't let what Tosaka said there just go by. Tosaka, how do you know who Saber is? I kind of had a hunch, but yesterday super confirmed my suspicions. Only one hero can wield the sacred sword like that. I mean, I was a little surprised to learn that the legendary King Arthur was a girl, but can't really argue with that when she's sitting in front of me. Besides, legends are rewritten all the time, right? I don't know if Saber was the one who hit it, or if the people around her did, Well, I guess there was a problem with having a girl king in medieval time. So don't blame her for saying she was a dude. Sokka's tone just remains the same. Saber at least doesn't seem to mind. If anything, she seems to agree with Tosaka. Certainly doesn't seem to argue. She's basically acknowledged the fact. Hero with connection to the sword is selected to be the Saber Servant. Based on that alone, she would absolutely make for the best saber. The heroic symbol of Britain, the wielder of the sacred sword. So famous, she's even known in a faraway land. But then, what of it? Legend of King Arthur ends with the king's death. Even heroes are still human. Their stories usually end in death. But no hero dies a proper death. King Arthur was no exception. If I remember correctly, King Arthur died in battle, at the Great Battle of Camlann. After unifying Britain and having no more foreign enemies, King Arthur was drawn in conflict with an unexpected enemy. It was the treachery of her own army, the knight she vowed to protect and fought alongside, that led to King Arthur's death. Oh, King Arthur defeated the army's leader, but took a fatal wound in battle, and so entrusted her only surviving knight, Bedivere, with the task of returning the sacred sword to where it belonged. Travel across this bloody battlefield and over the hill. You will find a deep lake. Throw this sword into the lake. But Bedivere did not fulfill that final duty. Bedivere, a little bit of a jerk. Fearing the implications of losing the sword, Bedivere falsely reported not once, but twice he had thrown it into the lake. So did you get caught, or is this like a doubting Peter sort of situation? You just lied 3 times. Each time, King Arthur once more ordered Bedivere to throw the sword away. Finally, on the 3rd attempt, Bedivere was able to fulfill the king's wish. Okay, Bedivere did better than Peter in that sense. It is said that King Arthur died after making certain the sword had been returned. So, Shira, what do you plan to do now? Are we sure we can't go with the plan? I just nap for the next couple of days and then hope the other 3 take each other out? I really like that plan. Tosaka turned to glare at me. What do you mean, plan to do? I'm talking about the dangerous girl sleeping in the Japanese-style room right now. What about Taiga? I told you to leave her alone, but you insist on carrying her here. I wanted to get Taiga out of the hospital. We cannot afford health care. I don't care. Bedivere was later added to Great Grand Order. He has a cool design. Heck yeah. Love a cool design. I also have something to say on the subject, though she has lost Berserker. Dang it is, Ilya. Why couldn't it have been Taiga? Ilyasvel remains a dangerous master. I question your decision to shelter her. Yeah, you should just leave her with Kirai. Yes, leave the small child with the priest. Nothing can go wrong from that. All of history has shown. The 2 glare at me. That's right. The moment Berserker disappeared, Ilya fainted. She showed no sign of waking up, and I couldn't just leave her, so I brought her back home. We couldn't have dropped her off at her own home. We could have had a sleepover at her house. Her house probably has way nicer beds than we've got, even though frickin' Archer and Berserker might have destroyed half of them. Of course, Tosaka and Saber objected, so I had to carry her here myself. Not all of it. I saw, like, most of her roof. There definitely had to be some beds there. And if not beds, I bet her carpets and stuff are more comfortable than whatever we're sleeping on right now. It's a rich person's home. A broken rich person's home is better than a fancy any other home, probably. Master who loses their servant either flees before another master kills them or is protected by the church. Sokka says we should let Kodomine take care of her. But I don't think that priest would take very good care of Ilya. So I'm having her stay in one of our spare rooms. Just drop her off. Let the priest do his job. Like, you've been avoiding the priest this entire game. Like, even like in the first bad end, when you're like, okay, I quit. Oh, your job is to protect me? Nah, I'm just gonna walk home and get disemboweled. Like, Shiro, just trust the priest. Shiro, your actions here are commendable, but it is dangerous to get involved with Ilshavel. It is not too late. We may either send her to the church or seize her command spells. Huh? They were serious. Changing her mind won't be easy. Do you have a problem? Why couldn't we just leave her alone? Ilya's just a kid, and she wasn't herself. Why do you say that? She wasn't herself? Like, you don't know who she is. You don't know who she was before this. For all we know, Berserker calmed her down. You feel bad? How can you say that with a straight face after everything she did to us? Do we need to bring up the disembowelment counter? I agree. You have too much empathy for Ilshavel. She tried to kill you many times and succeeded at a couple of times. Yeah, you deserve this side-eye, Shiro. The two of them are more united than ever. But I need... No! I want to make a choice! I want to toss her to the curb! Let me toss her to the curb! Dang it. Ilya was our enemy. She never had any malice for us. As long as she has a good influence, she won't do any more harm. She's not going to try to steal my body again, right? She can't do that without Berserker, right? Right? Look, there are only 5 bad endings where Ilya kills us. Meanwhile, a certain other girl can kill us over 10 times. Which is why we're not going to take off Taiga. We will never take off Taiga. And I said this at the start. I'm not fighting to kill masters. I'm fighting to end the battle. I know that, but... Saber's tone softened, though she's clearly not convinced. But... Oh yeah, so you're gonna forgive Ilshavel for everything she's done. Let me tell you something. She's attacked other masters. And you don't know how many masters she might have killed. You're going to save her even so? Well, yeah. Ilya did admit she stole my kill! After I let him go. I did not let him go! No. This is false. This is a lie. This is straight up trying to rewrite the past. I did not let him go. He ran away from me, and I was actively chasing him down. I was going to catch him. I was going to bash his head into a wall, and then probably curb stomp him multiple times. Shinji used Ryder to kill everyone at school. If that's what he did as a master, I suppose his death was inevitable. But Shinji was a friend of mine for years. And thinking of Sakura, I just can't write off what Ilya did. Thinking of Sakura is what makes me want to beat his head in more. What are you saying, Shiro? I hate you. But that means there's no chance at closure. Even if Ilya is no longer a master, as long as she can reflect and feel remorse, I think we should save her. Okay, you might be right, but I, for one, won't ever forgive her for what she did to Archer. She killed my Archer. Kind of at an impasse here. I mean, Rin doesn't realize that he was a jerk and deserved to die, and I'm glad he's dead. We all freeze, staring at each other. But then... Oh, come on. All servants disappear in the end anyway. If you're so worried about that, you have failed as a master, Rin. The very girl under discussion appears. Hey, Ilya. Ilshavel. Hold it. I have no business with you two. I don't want to steal your stupid, ugly bodies. I don't have any intention of fighting, so don't get so angry at me. Honestly, I'm embarrassed for you two, just as fellow ladies. You're older than me, but you're sorely lacking in manners. Ilya shrugs, looking disgusted. What did you say? Saber and Tosaka are once again in sync. A whole new kind of intensity comes over them. Well, I'm not going to get into that with you. I don't have time to deal with the two of you right now. Ilya turns from them to face me. Ilya? I would like to thank you, Master of Saber, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being so concerned about me, even though I was your enemy. Hello, Lisa. How are you doing this fine day? Yeah, we got a new roommate, whether we like it or not. We can't just ship her back to the forest. She's stuck with us. Dang it! Ah! I stare at Ilya in disbelief. So suddenly is this that even Saber goes quiet. How are you doing, Lisa? I hope you're having a lovely day. Shout out to my friend Lisa. Last played Mass Effect like a long time ago, but I still shout her out anyway. Also, Adakash. Give you shout outs. Adakash is also cool, plays a lot of cool games, usually RPGs, or just a wide variety of games. He's like, if you need a good late night streamer to just chill back and relax with, Adakash is a strong recommendation. Tosaka just keeps drinking her milk and giving Ilya the stink eye. You heck, frickin' yeah! Heck yeah! So proud of you, Lisa. You got this. Now go out there and kick butt. Destroy them all! I don't know what your job is, but I'm assuming you have to destroy them all. I know you're capable of it. You got this. Disembowel all of your enemies. And then Ilya smiles that familiar smile of hers. Just kidding. Yep, you sure are my brother. You'll be an apprentice dog trainer, so maybe destroying them all is a bad idea? That's fine. I guess dogs are okay. You don't have to destroy all the dogs, but I'm just saying it's on the table if it needs to happen. I don't know. Like if you have like a bear coming in pretending to be a dog, you know what to do. You got this. She launches herself right at me and chokes me out and hugs me around the neck. Ah! What is going on? Tosaka spits out her milk. No, we needed a spit take animation. What the? I can almost hear the vein popping in Saber's forehead. In fact, we can literally see it right now. I love the fact that it's just the straight up standard stoic calm Saber face, but just like red alert, we might have a small child get stabbed with Excalibur. Unhand him, you insolent fool! Saber rushes towards me. Ilya twists around, swinging to my back. I'm now in a rear naked chokehold. This is bad. I'm gonna pass out. Who's being uncivil here? A 7 like you has no right to command me. I have neither obligation nor intent to obey you. If you wish to speak so brazenly, then you will remove yourself from Shira's presence this instant. Too close! Get away from me, small child! I'm not listening to you. Hey, Shiro, let's do the same thing we did last night. You gave me a piggyback ride, right? Ilya spins around me. Saber's gonna kill her, and then she's gonna kill me. Oh no. It's like, I feel like I'm in a wrestling match in which you just have like a luchador doing like the spin around the body 50,000 times before hitting either a DDT or a Hurricane Rana. Saber hurries after her, trying to catch her. This is bad. I'm about to run out of air. What's specifically bad? It's just bad. These two can't stop glaring at each other. This is so bad. It must be because Tosaka is just watching from afar. She just wipes the milk off her mouth. Can you at least clean up your spit take, please? This is still my house. I want it to look nice. Look, I don't care what you do, but if you keep that up, you're going to kill him. Ah. Too close. Back off, ladies. The two peer curiously at me. Uh-oh. It's pretty clear. My neck is just getting right. Yeah, they've turned my neck around about a 720-degree angle. I am canonically dead. I now face the greatest danger of my life. Let's review the current situation. Hamburger steak worked so hard is packed away in the freezer. Okay. Okay, we got the hamburger steak out of the way. That was the most important thing that we needed to talk about. We did not describe how it tasted, how it cooked well, or anything, but okay. We can talk about other things now, about servants or Holy Grail Wars or whatever. Fine. First, there's Tosaka. She's being relatively quiet. Seems to be keeping a straight face, and it looks like she's just going to watch things play out. But who can say what she might be thinking to herself? We didn't get to... I thought it was implied we had the breakfast. Like, we didn't even make the breakfast. We just like, we'll make this in the future. No. Seriously. Our character got kidnapped a day and a half ago. Like, did Ilya feed us while we were kidnapped? Did we eat mushrooms on the road? Like, as far as I'm concerned, we literally have not eaten anything in maybe 40 hours. He made it and then got choked out. Just, please, someone eat this food. What is it, Shiro? Ilya's sitting next to me, and for some reason, she looks like she's in a good mood. She's looking curiously around the living room. Doesn't even look like Saber or Tosaka are even concerns to her. Whatever either of them might say is likely to just go one ear out the other. And then there's the one I'm most concerned about. Hi, Saber. Saber, glaring anxiously at both me and Ilya. Not usually so fidgety and restless. Feels like I'm resting on a bed of nails. Hopefully it's like one of those bed of nails with a bajillion nails, so it's like all spread out. The pressure points are spread out, so you're not likely to get hurt. In fact, it might actually feel kind of good on you. I can't leave things like this. You could leave things like this. Like, you could just straight up run away now and just live in Ilya's broken home. I don't know what's going to come of this, but I gotta do something. Let's settle this. If we keep this up, it's gonna drag out until lunch. We didn't even eat breakfast. No! You're right. We already came to a conclusion, so we should just get rid of the problem as soon as possible. Isn't that right, Saber? That is correct. Rin and I are in agreement, so we just need to convince Shiro. And by convince me, just stab the child. Saber's really digging her heels in. Is Saber wearing heels? I don't think we've seen Saber feet. Kinda grateful we haven't seen Saber feet. Good job, game. You've thrown out a lot of fetishes and a lot of sex scene stuff straight up. Thank you for not showing Saber feet. You held back. Proud of you. Shiro, what do Rin and Saber want to talk about? They want to talk about what we should do with you. You lost your servant, so we want to know what you plan to do from now on. There's only two obvious options. Take her to the church shelter or send her back to her castle. Her staying here is out of the question. No one's sprites go down to their feet. Yes. Sorry, feet people. Do you feel the same way, Shiro? Ilya looks at me, her face emotionless. Straight up, I know this is a bad end. Shiro 100% absolutely shelters Ilya. I'm not Shiro. I know this is leading to a bad end. I don't care. This is my choice. This is legitimately what I would do in this situation 1000%. The church should shelter her. It's the safest option. If we're focusing on Ilya's needs, then it's settled. This is hardly needing discussing. Ah. The choice is obvious. We cannot keep Ilsevel here. Shiro. Ilya looks up at me anxiously. No, you're not going to do that, right, Shiro? You're not going to abandon me, are you? Ilya. I have a disembowelment counter because of you. Yeah. You're kind of not allowed to live in my house after that. That's just a personal rule of mine. That is just a card whiz rule. Like, maybe you have a rule where you're okay with keeping people who disembowel you around. I ain't. And again, I'm like 1,000% sure this leads to a bad end. I don't care. This is my choice. I deserve to have a good ending. This might be my good ending. I press a hand over my chest and feel it tightening up. I think you should go to the church, Ilya. It's much safer there than here. I make eye contact and tell her this. Ilya gasps, and then freezes entirely. It does not lead to a bad end. It's just an option to be mean. Heck yeah! It's even better for me! Ilsevel, given that Shiro has saved you, I will not pursue you any further. Your life has been spared. You should value... No, stupid Shiro, stupid Shiro, stupid Shiro, Shiro, you dummy! I don't want to. I don't want to go to church. I don't want to go anywhere else. I don't want to be alone. I want to stay with you, Shiro. Stop trying to murder me and my friends, and I'd totally let you hang out here. Literally, all you had to do was not try to murder me. She kind of failed at that. Ilya cries like a stupid little small baby. Well, in her defense, she is a small little baby. She stopped murder. We don't know that! We just assume Berserker was the only problem here. She is still a master. I assume capable of magic. Did you see the command spells? I assume that means she's like super duper magic. Like, her not knowing the difference between right and wrong is not something that happened when Berserker arrived. Like, if they had done something that said, like, yeah, Berserker is insane, but because she has summoned Berserker, she is also insane, and she cannot help it, I 100% would side with her here. But I don't, from what I know, what this game has told me, I don't know that. And again, disembowelment counter. She doesn't know right and wrong because she is a child. The church is not going to teach. Church can teach that. Churches have like all sorts of life lessons they can teach. They can help establish and help give like a foundation to a child what is right and what is wrong. And as they grow up, they can like figure it out for themselves what is right and wrong. But it's like a church is like legitimately a good place to establish that base. Like church and school in like the developmental years, if the parents aren't going to do it, like those are good places, legitimate places to help establish those basic foundations of life. Like legitimately, like based on what we know of this world, like it's literally the best place for her to be. I swear, I'm not doing this to troll. Like, this is, like, legitimately how I would play this if I were in this spot. I know. If I really am concerned for Ilya, I can't just entrust her to someone else. Shiro, you can't put the entire weight of every single person in the world's problems on your shoulders. Dude! Stop! Like, this is what I don't like about Shiro. Stop! I can appreciate a hero complex. I love a character with a hero complex. It's when you, like, take it too far beyond your means, Shiro. Also, what the heck is this sprite for Rin? What? I feel like this is not the appropriate time for that sprite. What? Oh boy. What are you saying? You have like a big castle. Land like this is nothing to the Einsbergs. It's like the size of a cat forehead. Ren. I'm a little terrified what kind of mage magic you're doing that requires measurement via cat forehead? What? Looking after Ilya is not beyond his means. All he knows is how scared to go. Yes, it is true. Like, that is why... Again, I'm establishing. Shiro would not do what I just did. But I said early on in this playthrough, I wanted to establish, like... I want it to mostly be my choices. Like, sometimes, like, if I'm up in the air 50-50, I will lean towards what I think Shiro would do. This situation, I 100% would do this. I would send Ilya to the church. Or I would send her home. I would not just allow her to stay here after what she's done. I'm not the one who can I can teach her right and wrong, and maybe I can do that after the Holy Grail War is over. I've got things I need to do. Cat's forehead? What? How rude. That's not true. This place is so small. It's like a mouse's toenail. Oh, this place might be too small for you, Ren, but I can manage to live with Shiro here just fine. Who does Ilya want to offend here? Yeah, sounds like she just wants to offend everyone. Don't you agree, Shiro? I can stay here, right? She looks at me like some sort of lifeline. Then I remember something I heard a long time ago. My old man said you should always protect girls. I take back what I said. Alright, thank you for the false choice. It was just for the affection point, then. I missed out on an easy affection point. I don't care. Like, I genuinely said what I believe is right. Sorry, Ilya. I was the one who brought you here. And until the Holy Grail War ends, until all the remaining masters are taken care of, we're going to give you shelter here. Not the place that, you know, by holy decree is established to be the place of shelter. Just hang out here. What? Shiro? I knew you were sweet as candy, Shiro. Ah, you're choking me. I can't breathe. The church doesn't have a King Arthur. This place is better. The church has a priest who looks super cool. That's even better. Like, I assume that the church it could just be like, it's the rule. It could literally just be, it's the rules, and like, there actually is nothing stopping anyone from going there, which would kind of suck. But it's just like, as far as I know, like, it is the shelter. But the church has access to like all of like those holy relics and everything. So I'm assuming the church in Kiritsugu has some sort of power. I don't know. Just going by what I know, the rule that has been established, church is where you go to protect yourself after your master, after your servant's been eliminated. I follow that rule. She should go to church. Shiro should have followed that rule. He did not in the first bout end. But whatever. I'm just going to sit here and get choked out. Do not touch my master, Ilchavel. And what do sweets have anything to do with this? No idea what sweets have anything to do. Well, sweets are very important. Went to the grocery store, and yes, I did get sweets. I did get myself some Oreos. My goal is to not eat them over the course of a week. Like, try to... Goal, eat Oreos over the course of like a month. Need to take care of the body. Need to not just consume all the sugar in the universe. She means he's gone soft on her. Too sweet and soft. Why are you all getting in my way? Have you got some kind of problem with me? Of course I do. I will never forgive what you did to Shiro. And you, Shiro, do you still not understand that nothing good will come from sheltering Ilshavel? You got it wrong, Saber. Ilya doesn't have a servant anymore. So she's not danger! Zero. I know he didn't see the other timeline, the bad end we got where she probably stole his body. But she didn't do that because of Berserker. She did that because of her. She's still twisted in the head. Berserker, no Berserker. The only thing stopping you from attacking the church is that it's illegal in mage law. So no mage would attack it because they would be ostracizing from mage society and jobs. Heck yeah! If people want to keep their 9-to-5s, we send Ilya over to the church. That's the right thing to do. Thank you, Skeeth, for proving my point. Besides, how would you feel if she got attacked after we abandoned her? Ilya's life would be in danger, and the other masters might gain power from her. That might be true, but again, the church literally is set up so that exact thing does not happen. Saber hesitates. No matter what she says, Saber understands that another master might attack Ilya if we leave her alone. And it's my turn to argue. Is she pouring herself some more milk? Is this a milk sound effect? I'm sorry to jump in after you've convinced Saber, but I don't agree. Look, Shiro, she's still a master. She may have lost her servant, but I also told you that as long as she has command spells, she's still a master. Says that. Sokka just butts in while she sips her tea. What's that supposed to mean, Tosaka? I'm saying, as long as she has command spells, she can form a contract with as many servants as she wants. There are stray servants who don't have masters. And as long as a master has the capacity to take that in that stray servant, they can form contracts with as many as they want. What the heck? So if there's a capable master around that can form contract with as many servants as they want? Not exactly as many as they want. The Holy Grail can only call upon 7 heroic spirits, so 7 would be the maximum. Though no matter how capable a mage is, they couldn't have enough magic energy to power multiple servants. Even if they did, they would have to divide their own magic energy and have to supply to servants, and that would weaken them, which would make forming multiple contracts pointless. I see. So if I formed a contract with Saber and Berserker, they'd have to split what little magic I got, which would drastically weaken both of them. That means it would make more sense to keep one servant and supply them with all the magic energy. Now that you mention it, didn't you say servants could change masters? Is that what you meant? Look at you, finally catching up on something that we established a long time ago. You're right, Shiro, that's how servants changing masters go. A servant who's lost their master has some time before disappearing, so in that time, if they can find a master who's seeking a servant and form a contract, they'll be fine. Yes, so that's why you can't let your guard down with Rin, Shiro. She's still a master too. She might kill you and seize Saber, or she might form a new contract with another surviving servant. Yeah, and I say the same thing about you, Ilya. That's never going to happen. I don't intend on teaming with another servant. My servant is and will only ever be Berserker. I don't know what kind of relationship Ilya and Berserker had, and the way she worded that terrifies me a little bit, but I do know that that servant was special to her. This is a surprise, but at the same time, it makes me happy. I'm happy to know that despite the fact that as a master, Ilya was relentless, she still cherished her partner. Oh, but if Shiro loses, I'll take Saber. I won't let anyone other than Shiro win, but if Shiro loses, I will win on his behalf. Ilya says that proudly. Totally not creepy at all. That is ridiculous. I am Shiro's servant. I have no intention of becoming your servant. Well, I don't care anyway. I just want Shiro to win, and whether I win or Saber protects Shiro, it's all the same to me. Ah, that's a weird thing to say. Actually, if she wants me to win, then why would she think like that anyway? And then, Osaka must have found it strange too as she starts to use her brain thinker. I certainly mind. I will not approve no matter what. Rin, please warn Shiro yourself. Keeping victory in the family, yeah. But if we marry Sakura, then she's in the family too. Or we marry Taiga. Sorry, I wasn't listening. Tell him what, Saber? About how we are against sheltering Ilchavel here? Oh, that. I guess sheltering her wouldn't be a terrible idea. What? Saber freezes. I had advocated for this, and even I'm surprised. I don't blame the opposing Saber for being frozen in shock. Rin, have you lost your ever-loving mind? No. If I think about this rationally, I see the risks are all the same. It doesn't matter whether we leave Ilya alone, give her shelter here, or just send her off to the church. It may even work out in our favor if masters come looking for Ilya. With Saber as she is now, she would be hard for even multiple servants to defeat, and they'd be way faster in the Holy Grail War, and that's what you want too, isn't it, Saber? But if you think you'd lose to other servants, that's another story. Of course not. You understand my condition perfectly. As long as Shiro is my master, I cannot be defeated. Right. Then us sheltering Ilya isn't a problem. And there's something else. Shiro's decision might have actually been a super smart move. Osaka goes quiet. You must have convinced Saber, who reluctantly takes a step back from Ilya. Hey, we're not dead. Take the small victories. Saber didn't stab anyone. Finish breakfast. So, wait, we put... I'm sorry, we put... Was that like just the leftover hamburger steak? But it sounded like we put all the hamburger steak in the freezer. Why say that? Why couldn't we just say we put it on the table? I am more infuriated by the consumption of food in this series than I should be, but I am. Osaka goes back to her room while Saber follows me. As for Ilya, she's going to sock me, because that's what she does. Hey, are you really going to do sword training? He follows me to the dojo like we're joined to the hip. I was looking forward to hanging out with you today, Shiro. But Saber's in the way. It's boring here, and I'm cold. Well, I'm not surprised Ilya thinks it's boring. Watching someone train isn't exactly what I call exciting. I think that's kind of fun to watch a training montage. Let's go back to the living room. You want to get stronger? I will help you. Ilya takes one of my hands in both of hers and tries to tug me away from the dojo. Oh, but at least in this I can't indulge Ilya. No, I can't, Ilya. I train every day, so I can't miss today. I'm not a proper mage, so I need to work hard to be ready to fight. Besides, if I train, I can protect you too, Ilya. I decided to shelter you here, so I should train to help me do just that. Okay, you may be right, but I really don't need you protecting me. You're my brother, so I just need you to be with me. Get that creepy grin off your face. It seems I failed to convince her. Ilya tugs more aggressively on my hand. Saber watches silently all the while. Her eyes are burning the pair of us. She must still not approve of Ilya being here. And then our eyes meet. Good timing. I will ask for Saber's opinion. I said I can't. Tell her, Saber. Tell her I train with you every day. There's nothing for me to say. You are the one who has brought Ilchevel here. Persuading her is your duty, not mine. Ah! I don't know why, but she looks ticked off now. Oh, you know your place well, Saber. You don't need to train. The ones left are all weak, so you don't need to bother with this. Come on, Shiro. Let Saber take care of the other masters, and we can just go play outside. Yeah, Ilya, let's tell Saber to murder a bunch of humans. Like, she doesn't see the problem with this. Like, yeah, she's a stupid child. Doesn't know good and evil. When do we have the basic lessons of murder is bad? We need to have that lesson with Ilya at some point if she's going to leave. You're the one who's been advocating for letting Saber fight. That's what I want to do! I do want Saber to fight. But I also want my heart points with Saber. That's more important. Slow down! I lose my balance and feel myself being tugged towards the exit. No, let go, Ilya. I'm not going to indulge you this time. I'm not skipping sword training. I've got to stick to it. You might think it's boring, but I think it's super fun. It's super cool. I can pretend to make lightsaber noise. Da 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 da. If you're gonna complain, then go wait in the living room. I shake her off violently. Yeah. You obviously didn't expect me to fling her away like that. Ilya backs off surprised and then looks at me nervously. Ah, poo. I should have been nicer about it rather than flinging her into the wall. Sorry, Ilya. I was too rough with you, but I'm not going to give up my sword training. I'm sorry to leave you alone, but please, stay in the living room. You could follow the Shiro rule of training and just allow Saber to concuss you until you're no longer sexist and or stupid. Maybe that's what we need to do to Ilya. Let's give her concussions. Like, she can't be any worse than she already is. Ilya sulks away towards the entrance, but stops by the wall. Fine, I'll watch here. You don't mind that, right? Ilya suddenly roars in defiance. She glares our way, pitching a small tantrum. I don't mind, but it's cold here in the dojo, and there's tea and snacks in the living room. I made up my mind, so it's fine. I'm not going to leave Shiro and Saber alone here. Ilya huffs and turns her nose up. Well, you're more than welcome to go to the living room if you get bored. At least things have settled down. I take two shinai leaning against the wall and turn to face Saber. Let's begin. In 3 days, so I might be a little rusty. Are you okay, Saber? You look a little dazed. Have a fever? Certainly looks a little dazed. Oh, it's nothing like that. Saber turns away from Ilya, furiously shaking her head. Are you all right? Let's begin. Here's your shinai. Please, simply throw it to me. You mustn't approach me so haphazardly. We are only here to train. That's what I've been saying. What else would we be doing, Saber? A little confused, I toss the shinai over to her. For once, Saber's the horny one. Besides, I never once landed a strike on Saber. I never even gotten close to begin with striking range of her, so Saber telling me not to come closer seems weird. Saber takes the shinai, I toss her a bit awkwardly and lets out an audible sigh. Then let us begin. Things may not be the same as before, but please, try to maintain your composure, Shiro. Saber glances at Ilya as she speaks. I'll be fine. Once we've started, nothing's gonna bother me. I grip my Shinai and focus on Saber. She stands in front of me, Shinai in hand. Now my attention is fixed only on her. We spend 2 hours training, then go on break as usual. This just reminds me how amazing you are, Saber. I nod approvingly and gulp some of the water from the kettle I brought along. Heck yeah, Shiro, stay hydrated. I quench my thirst and wipe the sweat from my neck with a towel, which helps me to finally relax. So that's your training. It just looks like Shiro keeps getting concussed. It's my way of becoming a better fighter, dang it. Ilya's so blunt about most things people would find awkward. That's not true, Ilya. It might have looked like I was getting beat up, but I used to get beat up a whole lot more. In fact, I didn't even get one concussion today, so I think I did pretty well. Oh, look at all the flying little birdies in the sky. Ooh, can we count all the birdies? 1 a birdie, 2 a birdie. Actually, just 1 birdie. Thank you, birdie. Ilya's expression turns thoughtful. She's sharp. I found it odd too, actually. Either Saber was holding back out of concern for me, or she isn't in top form. Whatever the case, Saber didn't go all out. Well, may not always fight seriously while we're training. It's always been merciless about exploding openings. Today she lacks the drive, though. Normally she just rushes in and attacks hard enough to knock me out. There was none of that today. Think so too, Ilya? Oh, maybe Saber's just given up on me. I didn't see it that way. But whenever Saber readjusted her grip on her Shinai to execute a follow-up, she just stopped and stepped back. I'm not sure why she did that. It wasn't like she was unwilling to attack, but more like she was scared, or trying to hold back. Saber would never hold back! If she had the compassion for that, she wouldn't have beat me so bad. Yeah, Saber isn't the type to hold back in training. That's why I was able to focus so completely on her weapon. What's gotten into Saber? This isn't training at all. It seems unbelievable, but did she go easy on me? No, I did not go easy on you. I was simply imagining myself facing off against a swordsman somewhat more skilled than Shiro as usual. Something's not right. Saber has to see it too. She's in love. She's in love. I can't imagine you ever taking it easy on me. And I know you were being serious. But I think you were holding back. If you don't come right at me, this is pointless. Her derp face is the best. Ah, it's so adorable. Right at you, but that would mean I would be getting too close to Master. Depending on what happened, our bodies might come in contact. Well, we're sparring, so I guess we might bump shoulders, or bump bellies, bump uglies. Besides, you used to slam into me with your whole body to knock me down because you said I wasn't defending myself. And close combat's your specialty, Saber. Did I do that sort of thing? Yeah, it's kind of a weird question, but yeah, you did, frequently. Remember how you just slammed me into the wall when we first sparred? I said you were pretty strong for a girl, and you said it was natural for a swordsman. Saber stands there, dumbfounded. Horny as all get out. What's going on? Saber's acting super weird today. I'd hate to learn that she isn't feeling well. I should talk to Tosaka later. Shiro, you're an idiot. Get back to our training, but it's still different than before. After just a few strikes, Saber sets down her Shinai. Is this some kind of new training? Might strike at me in the head the moment I drop my guard. I breathed hard, watching Saber cautiously. Saber narrows her eyes, showing that she is super serious right now, and steps forward. Shiro, let us have lunch. That's not like her. I lower my Shinai. What? Is it that time already? According to the clock, it's a bit before noon. Lunchtime for sure, but this is the first time Saber's been the one to step up and suggest it. Neither Saber nor I paid much attention to the time when we trained before. Take a break, then notice we were hungry, and then check the clock. Huh. I guess it's a good idea. I could go along with it easily enough. What do we want to do? I don't think I want to go with we'll be fasting today. I think that's the least helpful and maybe less interesting of the options. If Shiro confronts Saber about what's going on, is she going to answer? If confronted about feelings, how's she going to respond? Or Shiro can just remain blissfully ignorant and just say, okay, let's have lunch. With the way he's been talking in this scene, I'm leaning towards that top one, because this is one of those cases where it's just like, I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Oh boy. Will Saber like confrontation or not? Especially with confrontation with Ilya right beside us. Ilya's going to be here for this entire conversation too. And I don't think she's going to respond to it. Yeah, let's just jump to lunch. That's a good idea. A little early, but I guess I can start preparing. Is it early? It's almost noon, and by the time you have completed preparation, it shall be lunchtime. If you decide to fast, if you decide to fast, do we lose so many or do we gain so many? I definitely wasn't deciding to fast. But that didn't feel right at the moment. You lose so many. Yeah, that fasting was definitely the bad option. The bad option of those. The other two truly felt like a coin flip. And like I've said, if it's a coin flip, I will lean towards Shiro. Well, actually, I made us boxed lunches today. Everything's done and packed, so we just need to bring out the bento from the living room so we can eat now. Saber needs food badly. Right, my brain just decided it wants a gauntlet redo just with fake characters. So of course we gotta have Saber as the warrior, we gotta have a certain golden boy as the archer. Who's the wizard? I don't remember. Fate Zero guy probably would be the wizard. We'll see if the caster in this one is wizard word. No, Ren would be the wizard. Ren would be the wizard in Gauntlet. And who's the other one? The other one's like elf and... No. There's no archer, it's elf. So it's like warrior, wizard, elf, druid, or not druid, dwarf. I think those are the 4 classes. So dwarf would be either berserker. Yeah, I think berserker would be dwarf. Have to be dwarf. Or we could switch Saber into dwarf and berserker into warrior. Wonderful. I think I can manage to hold out. Saber breathes a sigh of relief. What do you mean, hold out? Nothing at all. I was just talking to myself. Let us eat, and maybe I shall go to the shower for some alone time afterwards. What was that, Saber? Nothing, nothing, nothing. Saber, you've been super weird today. You were even sparring weird. If you're not feeling well, you need to tell me. If you're not feeling well, you should eat the bento, and I'll make something a little easier for you to digest. No, it's absolutely not the case whatsoever. Nothing's wrong. Nothing embarrassing whatsoever. If you start now, it will take time. And we must eat right now, so let us eat. Right now, Shiro. What's gotten into her? This scene right here, this entire thing, this is the most generic harem protagonist that Shiro has been the entire playthrough. I've actually enjoyed Shiro from that perspective. Like, he's not like the typical harem protagonist where it's just like the girls are fawning over him and he doesn't notice a thing. But we're straight up getting that now, and I don't think I like it, really. Like, this scene feels like Shiro has regressed a little bit. Got it. I'll bring over the bento and some tea. You two just wait here. We don't often have bento for lunch, so let's take the chance and eat here in the dojo. Yes. Thank you, Shiro. Saber has some of the best models. Saber waves enthusiastically, sending me off. Flustered, she's mad. Seriously, what's going on with her today? It's noon, and we eat lunch. I made a hearty breakfast, so lunch is boxed leftovers. I see you have taken the dishes from this morning and put them between slices of bread. Saber nods in approval, and she eats her sandwich. The way she uses a paper napkin to keep her hands from getting dirty. Oh, there is such grace even in the way she eats bento. Saber has hamburger. Yes! Sorry, back has been really bad last couple days. I actually need to take a minute to stretch. Sorry. Hope everyone's doing well right now. But again, it's like, this feels so weird for Shiro. It's just like, has he been that ignorant to the way other people feel? He kind of has to a degree. But it's like, this is the most blatantly ignorant Shiro has been to another person's feelings and motivations and stuff. I guess if I was being generous, like, Shiro could just be repressing all the feelings actively, like he's trying to do. Ugh. But like, I feel like even in his internal monologue, he would be more combative if that were the case. Oh boy. Don't get old. It sucks. Oh boy. Ugh. You're still here. Il Cheval. Yes, I realized this during breakfast. You are a good cook, Shiro. It's nice that the food is so good. On the other end of the spectrum, Ilya eagerly crams her sandwich into her mouth. Ugh, back pain sucks. A lot. I can't tell if she's playing around or just copying me. Ilya seems to have better manners than Saber. Well, except at the table. Hold it, Il Cheval. If you would like to eat that, your hair will get dirty. You know what? I think I have a back though. I need to do more back support. Just a really bad back day. See if that helps. Aww. Cute. Be a shame if Saber took this opportunity to go full Assassin's Creed, knife, and... I didn't read that. Whoops. Ilya must have had butter smeared on the corner of her mouth or something. Saber leans in reluctantly, wiping off whatever it is. Thanks, but what's the big deal? I thought you didn't like me, Saber. I'm wary of you, yes, but even I understand people's feelings. Does she? She barely. She's growing to understand feelings more. You have no hostility. No hostility. Again, we're making a jump by saying Ilya has no hostility. And Shiro has accepted you as a guest. That is why I will show you the bare minimum of courtesy, and besides... Your hair is beautiful, and it pains me to see it getting dirty. Chiro's still mine, you know. You don't have nearly enough hearts for that to happen. Well, I can maybe consider being a little friendly with you. I can make Shiro win. But I can't protect him after all. Ilya shrugs and takes another bite of her Sammy. And did we cut the crust off for her? Or is that like a Japanese bread that doesn't have crust on it? I need to know. If we cut the crust off for her, that's a little bit really adorable. I approve. You do not need to remind me. It is the duty of a servant to be their master's shield. Saber responds plainly enough as they eat. The conversation hasn't changed much, but at least they sound calmer. As we relax after finishing our meal, Tosaka comes in. Shiro, are you here? I'm ready, so come by as soon as you can. Her message delivered, Tosaka heads straight back to the outbuilding. Are we going to learn to summon a giant golden sword on command? Oh, right. I forgot. Tosaka's going to teach me magecraft in the afternoon. I've never had a proper teacher, so Tosaka's magecraft lessons have been super helpful. She seems to be willing to keep teaching, so I should clean up quickly and head over to her. Sorry, but I'm going to head to Tosaka's room. I'm not sure how long it's going to take, so you two should go back to your room and rest. Okay, I'm a little tired, so I will take a nap. Ilya walks out of the dojo, rubbing her sleepy little eyes. That's a relief. Didn't want to have another stalker for another lesson. As long as Ilya goes to sleep, I don't think there's going to be any problem with me going to Tosaka's room. Shiro, are you going to Rin's room? Well, yeah, I just said that. Tosaka's teaching me basics of magecraft. Is that really necessary? With Berserker gone, there are no more enemies that require our alliance to defeat. Would that not mean there is nothing more for you to learn from Rin? I guess she might be right. Tosaka's lessons were originally meant to help me when we went up against Berserker, so with him gone, there's no reason for her to teach me anything else. Berserker or not, I still want to learn from her. She can show me the world. Shining splits, shining, splat, shimmering, shimmering gemstones. Yeah, I ruined the joke. Dang it! There's still so much I don't know as a mage, and I'd like to fix that. I see. Well, if you insist, then I have no business stopping you. Ah! Saber looks sullen as she says this. Okay, time to start my lesson. First, though, is there anything broken? Is there anything broken? That's how she began. Kind of an odd question to ask the moment I arrive. Broken? Like what? Like all the lamps I broke in here? I'm asking if any part of you isn't working. You did some wild stuff, so you must have burned out a nerve or two. Not to say I care, I totally don't care. I am totally still tsundere. I just figured it would be hard to teach you unless I knew whether there was anything wrong with you. According to Tosaka, some parts of me should be numb, but since I'm the one living in my body, I and I can say she's wrong. Nope, everything's working super duper fine. Headache and fever are gone now that I had a night's sleep, and I feel fine. What? That can't be. Did you forget the part where you projected Saber's sword? That could have cost a normal person their arm. But I told you, I'm fine. Besides, if my body wasn't working, I wouldn't have been able to carry Ilya back to the house. And at that point, the only thing wrong with me was a headache and a fever. But that's not possible. Shiro, show me your arm. He tugs on my arm before I can reply and then just stares at it. A little too close. Erg. I realize I'm holding my breath. I may have gotten used to her being around, but I'm definitely not used to her being so close. It really does look like there's nothing wrong with your magical, muscly arm. I see a few places that are black, like they're burned or bruised, but other than that, everything's healed. It's almost like the flesh grew back like new. Tosaka mutters quietly to herself as she pecks my arm. Hey! As if that weren't enough to leave me beet red. Your body really is unbelievable. This isn't how normal healing works. Your natural healing ability is obviously being bolstered by something external, but this, you healed this yourself. Rin lifts my sleeves and presses her fingers all along my arm. Stop it, that tickles! That's enough, Tosaka. Go sit back down if you're done. I'm examining you. I'm playing doctor. Don't you want to play doctor with the most popular girl in the school? Fine. Oh, I get it. Tosaka leans in closer to me. No! You say your fever's gone down, but I'm not sure. Your face is glowing. That's for me to worry about. None of your business. Leave me alone. Oh, really? Then I suppose me doing this won't be a problem, right? Don't put your hand on my forehead. I don't have a fever, no point in doing this. No, apparently not. Even your ears are red now. You don't look like you have a fever. It looks more like you're drunk. Drunk on love. He's doing this on purpose. This is deliberate. I know it. Stop it. Why is she being so mean? Osaka, you know exactly what you're doing, don't you? You got me. I was just enjoying your reaction. Too funny. Anyone who would toy with a man's innocent. I'm still innocent, but despite what happened last night, totally innocent. Or the night before at this point. I kind of forget where we are in the timeline a little bit. What was yesterday? Well, I'll stop teasing here. If I push it, I might end up having to suffer the consequences. That's a problem. I feel like Tosaka's only teasing me harder now. Tosaka, I need to remind you, this is super serious business, and I'm here to learn from you. Bring the syringe! I'm sorry, it's just been my intention from the start. I was only checking on my students' health, you know. Oh yeah? So are you gonna, get to the day's topic then? Yeah, I suppose so. We're stepping outside of my specialty here, so I can only offer advice. But it's better that if I didn't say anything at all. To be honest, that last lesson I gave you was probably the last of the help I can offer. Can't just learn to be a mage in a few lessons. All I did was install a switch inside you that hadn't learned to use. You know that much at least, right? Oh yeah, that weird jewel, that weird hot tamale. Ever since I swallow it, I've been able to turn on my magic circuits on and off, without creating them from scratch every time. Yeah, that's been about the only thing I could teach you in a short time. But even that was just your previous training asserting itself. I can only boost the magecraft you've already learned. I'm not going to teach you other forms of magecraft. You just don't have the talent. You still suck, despite being like the greatest healer of all time. Yeah, and you're so blunt about it, it's enlightening. But can you at least give me some advice about the magecraft that I can use? So, like, tell me what kind of magecraft I used last night? Osaka doesn't answer. She's just glaring at me like I'm her worst enemy. Osaka, this is supposed to be a lecture, right? I get nervous when you get all quiet like this. She looks away, frowning. It's only a brief flicker of her expression, though. I can't. I can't do projection magic, and I can't teach someone something I don't know how to do. Something that even you can't do. Wasn't what I used against Berserker pretty basic? I just imagined a structure and let magic energy flow in it. No different than strengthening. But flooding your own magic energy into something that's already formed is difficult. It's like adding what you think is red into an existing mixture of paint to draw out the red hue, only to end up with a completely different color. By comparison, it's much easier to work with your own paint from the very beginning. I can just draw out whatever I want that way. What do you mean you can't do it? You're the freaking super awesome, super cool tsundere girl. You're supposed to know how to do all the cool stuff. I'm sure you can do that kind of thing. Isn't it much easier than strengthening? You know, if you said that to any other mage, they'd have killed you. What you did was called projection, and you perfectly recreated a noble phantasm. I have never heard of anyone doing that before. Chill runs down my spine. It's not my imagination. Osaka's actually angry with me. It doesn't matter. I had a feeling this was the case when I saw all the junk in your shed. There's no point in being mad about you at this stage. Uh-oh. Angry music. Fine. More exposition because you're clearly confused. What you did was called projection. It's imperfect magecraft that creates mere images of existing artwork or famed sword using your own magic energy. It's generally used to create temporary objects used as stand-ins for rituals. Things you create from images in your mind are understood to be imaginary objects, so they disappear. Huh? I get that the replica was created from a mental image. I saw a saber sword in my dream, and I imagined the golden sword based on it. I don't really get it. I don't really get it. Magical energy is like clay, right? Reproduction or no, what you make shouldn't disappear once the object takes form, right? That's not possible, idiot. Magical energy can only exist within your body. I remember that lesson from early on, and yet we were able to make a noble frickin' phantasm. That's why you pass magical energy through yourself. You need it to interact with nature. Sure, I can knead magical energy into a piece of soft candy to at least make a dagger. But it stops there. It's nothing more than candy in the shape of a dagger. As soon as the magic energy dissipates, the dagger disappears too. Wait. Are you saying you've been able to create candy this entire time and you've been holding out on me? What the heck, Tosaka? Just taffy me up! Like, I do require you to pay some sort of rent. I've been taking the lessons in the form of magic lessons as the payment, but like, I want some candy. Give me some Mike and Ikes for all I'm doing for you. Listen, things made purely from magic energy do not last long. They only briefly take shape. Well, but projection magecraft creates an object to look and perform like the original. Huh? She's right. Magical energy has no shape. I can feel it while it's flowing through my body, but once it leaves, it thins out and eventually disappears entirely. Then no matter how many blueprints I make in my own mind and form with magic energy, everything will fade because it's all just made from magic energy. Now that I think about it, when Kiritsuko was teaching me magecraft, I showed him my stupid attempt at projection. He told me to stick with strengthening because what I was doing instead was inefficient. I see. The projection consumes a lot of magic energy, and there's no point in using it because what you make disappears immediately. Exactly. For example, let's say you use a decent amount of magic energy to create a sword. All that energy you use might get you a sword whose power we'd rate at like a 3 or a 4. Human imagination is unreliable, filled with holes, so it's almost impossible to recreate anything accurately. Now, let's say you use the same magic energy to strengthen a sword. That same amount of magic energy to make the sword 20 or 30 times stronger, which means it would at least be a few hundred times longer than anything you create with projection. Got it? Projection Magecraft is only used for rituals, and I guess now for summoning holy swords to destroy servants. Your father made the right call, sticking with strengthening. You have only so many magic circuits to begin with, so if he taught you something as wasteful, then he'd be no better than an amateur. Okay, I got that. But what was that then? The golden sword I imagined was real for a moment, and it even had the real sword's power. Was it just a freak accident I projected Saber's sword? Now that I think about it, the amount of magic energy in that sword was pretty remarkable. Like, replicating something that ends up a few hundred times the magic energy I myself has, that seems kind of weird. Man, I should have thought of that before. Well, you have an affinity for swords. You are a sword pervert, after all. Hence, Saber. Have you seen her lately? Do you remember that night? You're a sword pervert. Get used to it. Mages all have connections to something. For you, it's clearly swords. Connections? You mean like elements like fire or water? Right. Normally, a person takes one element that makes up the world. Mage Association considers fire normal, wind to be noble. It could be earth, fire, wind, water, not heart. No one's good at heart. It would be like wood, fire, soil, or water. Mage has a connection to one of these, but there are also some with more specific connections. And most of these mages don't see any time in the spotlight, and they're kind of considered weirdos. So in your case, your connection is with swords, you sword pervert. It's pretty specific, but that means you could be the authority in swords. I see. That's probably true. Does that mean I could craft my own saber? Ooh, what? Don't think like that. I've always been fascinated with swords, and now I'm curious about Tosaka's specialty. Knowing her, it's probably fire or wind or something that suits someone like her. I should probably just ask since I'm curious. For more info on those elements, read or watch Kara no Kaoyaki, the first Type Moon work. Probably not. Like, well, I have been in an anime watching mood lately. I've been watching a whole lot of anime, but I'm back to Sergeant Frog. I haven't watched Sergeant Frog in years, and it took me forever to finally find where the dub was. Thank you, Internet Archives. And I've been enjoying the Sergeant Frog dub because it is an awesome dub, and I wish it continued for the rest of the 300 or however many episodes of Sergeant Frog there are. And I have a kitty scratching at my door. Alright, we're letting a cat in. Hey, Tosaka, I'm curious. What's your specialty? Not time to feed you yet. I'll feed you in like 15, 20 minutes. How close are we to the ad break? Alright, I'll feed during the next ad break. But first, you have to pay the stream toll. Welcome, Merlin. Mwah. Merlin is pretty and beautiful, and I love him and kiss him and squeeze him. Hope everyone and all their pets out there are doing well right now. Daddy. Let's find out what... I assume the gem thing is Rin's specialty? Like, we're an expert on swords and... Oh, wait. Could it be blood? Could she be a blood mage? Because, like, the drawing out of all the... She gets her gems via blood. My connection is with the 5 elements. Yeah, and she's used the gems to do all the elements. So, I guess she can be good at all of them? Does she mean all of them? Anyway, that's pretty much that. They say projection is about as useful as images on the screen, so try not to use it too much. Besides, trying to replicate Saber Sword was suicidal. You made it work this time, but I wouldn't be surprised if exploded. Said it yourself, Saber Sword has more magic energy than you ever could. Do you realize creating something like that goes way beyond the limits of your circuits? Yeah, I know, but it's not so easy to go beyond your limit, right? I've seen My Hero Academia go beyond. Plus Ultra! Oh, you absolutely can. Death is always lurking right around the corner. If Magecraft follows a certain form or format, it means any mage can use any Magecraft they have knowledge of. Even if they're not actually able to pull off that miracle, they'll still take the shot. Mages are only a source of power. Even a small energy can reach high speeds if you push the gas hard enough, but it tends to be self-destructive. Same with mages, if they're willing to accept the risk of destroying themselves, they can push past their limit. Doing so burns magic circuits and shreds nerves, but if they keep going, they can reach the miracle they seek. But the miracle never happened. No! Your projection is just that. Your body felt feverish after the battle because your nerves were seared. That's the price you pay. What you did could easily have cost you a limb or two. Osaka's voice grows a little louder. She's really starting to yell at me. I don't think I'm into it. Not in this timeline, at least. That's why always keep in mind, practicing Magecraft that goes beyond your limits only leads to ruin. Promise me you won't project her sword ever again. Osaka's worried about me? Genuinely? After a warning, Osaka prescribes some medicine I'm not familiar with. This is called heroin. This is called magic juice. I need you to inject it. Well, there's no point in telling you not to push yourself, at least for our peace of mind. Take that painkiller, and if anything happens, if all goes well, your bruised and discolored skin might heal. It might be heroin. She can get her hands on the good... You know Rin can get her hands on the good stuff. If she doesn't make it herself. She can get that crystal blue persuasion. Osaka explains this as she prepares some kind of green powdery medicine. Dang it, it should have been blue. I drink it with tea. Osaka rummages through her stuff and tries to prescribe other medicine. Anyway, oh no. Thank you for the potential warning. But why would we need TOS? It's just like if it turns out to actually be heroin, if we see her pull out another needle, TOS Tomberry will have to stand by. I feel bad for Tosaka having to go through all her stuff just for me, but I feel like I'm wasting time just sitting here. I should... Question 1. I don't want to ask about projection in detail. What does question 1 mean? What? Was there a question I don't... Drink some tea, rummage through the stuff. I feel like I'm just wasting time sitting here. What? Is that a typo or... Regenerate. Well, there's probably no point in telling you not to push yourself. If anything goes well, you're... Oh, wait. TOS Tomberry will be later. I want to pick question 1 because, like, it is not a typo. It's always been question 1. Am I missing something? What is question 1? Okay. I'm literally scrolling back just till I see a question mark. You realize that creating something that goes way beyond your limits and masks. I'm just curious. What the heck is question 1? Like, is it just literally the same? Ask about projection again? This is one of the few times where, like, if I don't like this, I'm going to go back on it. I don't want to ask about more projection detail. Let's figure out what the heck question 1 is. Now that I think about it, there's one thing I don't understand. Why wasn't Tosaka crushed during our battle with Berserker? Thank you, Merlin. Appreciate you sitting on my belly is the best way we can handle this. Are you question 1? What sort of trickery did she use? Hey, Tosaka, can I ask you about something that happened yesterday? I feel like that should not be question 1. That should absolutely be worded like how did she survive last night? What is it? Make it quick. I'm busy. Okay, so Berserker grabbed you, right? I'm just wondering how you survived. You don't look like it, but do you work out your abs or something? Can you? Are we showing off abs right now? I'll show you mine if you show me yours. If Rip's abs were all I needed to survive Berserker's grip, my stomach would be harder than steel. Sorry, I guess that was the wrong way to ask. But I guess you have to just show me your belly just to confirm the presence or lack of abs. I apologize, so please stop grinning at me like that. Then stop provoking me. As to how I survived, I placed a jewel on my stomach before the fight. Snuck it into my clothes to create a protective barrier. I see, so you expected Berserker to grab you from the get-go. It makes sense then, playing to protect yourself. But that means your jewels... Yeah, I'm all tapped out. Used 1 on Saber, 3 to distract, 5 to blow his face off, and 1 to protect myself. 10 years I saved all those up, and they were just gone in an instant. Even after using most of them, I could not defeat Berserker. Despite of her dejected sigh, Tosaka doesn't seem to regret what happened. What's done is done. It knows very well not to dwell on what she's lost, but to focus on what she gained. I see. Sorry about that, Tosaka. Thanks, but I'm going to learn from this and make gems that'll let me defeat an enemy like that all by myself. She's as blind as ever. I'm going to need a whole lot more needles. But wait, what? But I'm also sure that she'll manage it. And I realized Tosaka's the reason we won against Bert. It was kind of a team effort. Like, all 3 of you contributed pretty strongly. And after giving me several medications, Tosaka instructs me to do simple strengthening exercises while we keep an eye on how my body reacts. Apparently, she's checking to see that there's nothing wrong inside of me when I use magic energy. Honestly, Tosaka seems more like a doctor than a teacher nowadays. Okay, there don't seem to be any problems. You don't need to come here tomorrow. Ah! That's a bit of a surprise. I don't have to come tomorrow. That means it's my day off. It's Saturday. I can lay around and play video games. Yeah, there's nothing else I can teach you. If you want to focus on learning Magecraft, you should do it after the war. Besides, with Archer gone, my alliance with you is long over. What? I suddenly realized our alliance was only so we could defeat Berserker. Now that Berserker's gone, Osaka doesn't have a servant anymore. Our living arrangement should be over. It should have ended yesterday. Yeah, it should have. And it's time for Merlin to eat food as an ad plays. From teammate, yeah, dang it, Tosaka. We'll yell at Tosaka about being a freeloader later. For now, Kitty needs food. Come on, Merlin, let's go. Come on, buddy. Jesus. Merlin just scared the living heck out of me. Merlin did the jump up onto the counter where we beat him, and he missed the jump. It's like, no, don't do... You're a young cat still. You're only like 2-3 years old, I think. You don't need to be missing those jumps. That's like an old cat thing. Please don't do that, Merlin. Don't scare me like that. You were promised an ad break and none happened. Huh. That's weird. It showed the ad was playing for me, so I'm not sure how I don't know how exactly the ad works. How I think it works is like if you like come in here at the start, there will be an ad at like the 8-minute mark from what I've noticed. And then after that, you'll get like an ad every hour. That's how I have the settings on. And then, but like if you just join the stream like mid-stream, then the ad will just pop up when you first enter. And then I guess we'll go on an hour after that. Or not sure exactly how it works, but that's how it is. So what are you going to do now, Tosaka? Are you going to go to Kodamine's place? That'd probably be the smart thing to do, what we should have done with Ilya. Tosaka and Father Kodamine are student and disciple. They're like best friends. So it shouldn't be an issue for her going to him for protection. Why? Of course I'm not going over there. I haven't lost yet. There's no reason I can't fight even without a servant. Besides, running away isn't my style. I decided to fight, so I'm seeing it through to the end. He says it like it's just the most obvious thing in the world. Just hang out with the cool priest. He seems like a nice guy. My eyes widen. Well, okay, maybe not. Kinda should have expected this from Tosaka. She's super stubborn. Absolutely selfish. And captivatingly brilliant. Then what are you going to do? Are you going to go out on your own, pretending Archer's beside you? But he's dead. Berserker disemboweled him. There are still servants and masters left for fighting. Let's see. I think I'll stay here a while just to gather information. I should resume my research on Ryodao Temple too. Going to stay here? Are you sure? It'd be a big help if you stayed. It's kind of nice to have someone else who can cook, especially since, you banned Sakura. Ren is still the villain for banning Sakura from my house. But our alliance ended, so... What are you talking about? We managed to beat Berserker thanks to Archer. Our alliance may have ended, but you still owe me. And that's why you're obviously going to let me use your place until you fully repaid your debt. Besides, I said I would take responsibility until the end. You and I are teacher and student, even if it was brief, and I'd be super worried about you if I left you to your devices. I wouldn't be able to concentrate on the Holy Grail War. But this is my house. To be fair, I feel like our house is like 50% lamp at this point after everything she bought, so I think that also kind of makes it 50% her house at least. I just have to hope she just doesn't keep buying lamps and take over the entire place. Alright. It feels like a lifetime ago, so I'd nearly forgotten, but I've admired Ren because of exactly those qualities for a long time now. So I'm actually very happy. That's the Tosaka I've always known and liked. Besides, if I ever saw the day a girl as stubborn as her gives up, I would know what to believe from then on. Yeah, well, thanks for sticking around, Tosaka. Whatever else I might say, I wouldn't know what to do without you. Saber and I need you, Tosaka. You also helped me get, not only get the first, you helped me round second, third, and home base with Saber. So, thanks, Tosaka. High five? Yeah. That's fine, but don't say stuff like that. You're stupidly honest. I know. But be careful about what you say. You can give people the wrong idea. Ah! I'm not sure why that upset Tosaka so much. Saka, what do you mean I might give people the wrong idea? What wrong idea? We have full-on entered... Like, I know it is a harem gang, to an extent. But it's like, we have full-on entered, full-on embracing the tropes of it now. We haven't... something we hadn't full-on done up until this day. I am proud of this game for waiting until day 12 to go full harem trope. Let's see what our choices did. Our choices didn't do anything good. We didn't get any hearts, but hey, at least we didn't lose hearts. Yay, us. Unbelievable. It just wasn't appropriate, okay? And my whole attitude should make it clear I don't want you asking, so drop it. Osaka must be aware of some super secret cool rule that I'm not. Good grief, I feel bad. Saber's got it tough. Again, that's probably why you two work. You and Saber both have to be so freaking dense or else you never last together. I didn't hear what you just said. What do you mean she's had it tough? This is exactly what I'm talking about. I bet you haven't even noticed the changes in Saber. Yeah, with the fever we got, we straight up have come down with harem protagonist disease. And I hate it a little bit. I do hate it a little bit. It's like, those aren't tropes that I love, personally. Like, legitimately, there are, like, 2 good harem products that I have seen that I think are good to a degree. And then one of them, I don't know if is even good anymore, because just age. But it's like Ranma, which is basically like the first harem. Or one of the, I don't know if it's the first harem, but it's one of the earliest harems. And freaking 100 Girlfriends. 100 Girlfriends is like one of my all-time favorite mangas / animes of all time. And it's like, it's the best use of the harem system, format, genre I have ever seen. I think that show and manga is gold. And like, I picked that up when it first started, thinking it was like, this is gonna be such a stupid joke. I can't wait to just see how stupid this is. I'll read like 1 or 2 chapters and laugh at it and drop it. And I just like became like, oh, this is like one of the best things I've ever read. I genuinely love that manga and anime. Changes in Saber. It's not about her appearance, right? Did you give her like a different dress and I haven't noticed? Oh no, did she change her hairstyle and I didn't notice? Oh no. Anything would have changed in Saber. Oh, right. She has been acting weird since this morning. I thought she was just in a bad mood because Ilya's with us. She just sat there all stiff and quiet when I asked if there was something wrong, and then she just got up and left and said something about having had a dream? And I've pretty much forgotten all the hustle and bustle over Ilya. Yeah, I guess Saber has been a little off this morning. Like her head is somewhere else. Like in the shower. With Shiro. Saber said she had a dream? Is that a bit of a surprise to you? And now she's ignoring me. Don't go quiet on me. That face you're making is making me nervous. It's nothing major. It's just that servants don't typically dream? Huh? Servants don't dream? That's right, servants don't dream. But if she says she did, then it wasn't a dream. It was someone's memory. Maybe Tosaka's experienced that before. Coldness in her voice runs so counter to her usual cheeriness. Usual cheeriness? Like, I don't think cheeriness is like the top thing I would use when describing Tosaka. And now it's time to prepare dinner. So much happening the past few days. I thought the whole cooking rotation had gone out the window, but then... I'll leave dinner to you tonight. Looks like it's going to be a cold night between that and Ilya being here, so maybe you can make a stew. Steps out of the room as she speaks. Oh yeah, I guess stew would be pretty perfect for Ilya. Maybe it's the hat and coat she wears that made me think that. Whatever the case, I don't have a problem making stew for dinner. I haven't made a stew in too long. I need to do a stew sometime soon. What day of the week does Ilya fall into the dinner rotation? Is her day of the week she summons her servants here to cook stuff? Because I don't know if we need... So is that what you were thinking about with this? Buddy, get on standby. What were we talking about again? Oh yeah, dinner. Food. Yeah, that I'm hungry for food. Yeah. But before that, it's a little before 6 o'clock. I still have time before I need to cook. We had training, so I've done my fair share of sweating today. It seems like now would be a good time to take a bath. Taking a bath before dinner might be a hassle, but Tosaka and Saber usually do it right after dinner. So, it would be pretty late by the time it was my turn. The hallway is cold. The heaters have the rooms nice and warm. But once I'm out in the hallway, I can feel a wintry chill. Miyuki's winters are usually typically warm, but the weather's been super screwy the last few days. Hopefully it doesn't have anything to do with a caster casting some sort of spell that's going to kill us all. Speaking of cold, it looks like it snowed. I must not have noticed before because it only lasted for less than an hour, and it didn't snow a whole large amount. If there had been much snow on the ground, my yard would have been packed, and an entire army of snowmen, which really sucks to clean up. In that sense, I'm glad it didn't snow much. Of course, snowman army would be the work of a single person. And I can't help but smile as I remember the last time it snowed last year, and her old, reddened hand gripping the lectern. I miss Taiga! I miss her so much! I was thinking of taking a shower, but the bathroom was already warm. Huh. That's weird. Shiro? I hear something moving in the water. Gasp. It's the Loch Ness Monster. It's Nessie. It's Gordy. I strain my eyes trying to see the bathtub through the haze of steam. Just keep on a-looking. There's no way you're going to see something you're not supposed to see. Thank you to you, West Tonberry. Visual novels, ladies and gentlemen. My mind goes blank as the white sheets of steam filling the bathroom. Wow. My throat closes up. Freaking holy music. Just like we got a freaking Ave Maria going down the second we see Naked Saber. Really? Okay. My throat closes up and I can't get a word out. My brain stopped working. I'm paralyzed. Visual novels, he says, as if Tales of Vesperia doesn't do the same. Okay, JRPGs. I'm sure there are also American games that do it, because, like, honestly, the first thing that came to mind was Conception. Because, dear Lord, Conception did that. My brain stopped working. I'm paralyzed. Like, most of the Tales game have a hot tub scene, don't they? It's like, I remember Zillia. No, Zillia 2 had one. I don't remember if Zillia 1 had one. Oh, I need a freaking Zillia 1 remake. I want to play Zillia again so bad, but it's such a pain in the butt to set up the PS3. Plus, I wouldn't be able to stream through it because you have to have like a bunch of extra... You have to have some extra equipment to stream through a PS3 because the PS3 is a piece of garbage. Ah, such a garbage console. But in the back of my mind, I recall something similar happening. Actually, the exact same thing's already happened. Zillia Remaster has been leaked. Okay, I hope so. I want it to be true, because I freaking love Zillia. Zillia is my favorite Tales battle system. It's just one of my favorite battle systems of all time. That battle system was smooth as butter back in the day. The last time I was dressed and Saber wasn't. Not this time. Oh, Saber! The only sound is my own loud gulping. Saber just freezes, watching me as I stand there, dumbfounded. Are we both naked? He's going to get mad. Here it comes. I'm gonna die. Her soft lips begin to tremble. Any second now, she's going to start yelling. Ah! Misclick. Sorry, it was my fault. I was going to use the shower. I didn't think anyone would be using the bathroom at this hour, so yeah, I should have figured this out earlier, especially when I heard someone talking and there was a whole bunch of steam in here. Maybe that should have been my clue not to just walk in here and stare at you. What am I, a Soccer Wars protagonist? I ramble out a lame excuse as I step backwards, trying to head back off to the changing room. It's not like I'm gawking at Saber. We are not gawking at Saber. We're totally not gawking at Saber right now. You would never gawk at Saber. I trust you to not gawk at Saber. That's why TOS Tomberry is going to let this happen. Because TOS Tomberry believes in you. You are not going to think lewd thoughts when you look upon... You're only going to be looking at the words. The words are the important thing in this visual novel. But for some reason, it feels like making a mad dash for the changing room would just make Saber angrier. The truth of the matter is, I can't take my eyes off her. I remember the night in the ruins. I recall Saber's warmth, how close it was. Her body was so frail and slender. The heat of our bodies and our heartbeats mingled, overlapped. At the same time, I was just desperate to fix the problem. But now it all feels so tempting. Reminder, Shiro isn't next to the tub. He got in the tub before seeing... Okay, he actually is naked. Dude! Alright, we're naked in a tub with Saber. Alright, let's see where this goes. Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. And with the amount of hearts we have, it might pay off. Anyway, we can talk later. I try to reach behind me for the exit. And then... different still. My apologies, Shiro. I do know that this is a selfish request, but would you mind leaving right now? Just to be safe. Saber averts her gaze, her body oddly muffled. Now I really don't know what to think. I'm not sure why Saber isn't mad. Seeing how embarrassed she looks has caused blood to pound into my skull. Yes, thankfully that's the head that the blood is pumping into right now. Why? The words came out before I could even stop myself. Saber looks down even more apologetically. Please, wait a little longer to use the shower, and please permit me to use this space for the time being. Saber shrinks in on herself, hiding her body. Is she hiding her body? Like, she's hiding her collarbone. That's a good thing to hide. You don't want to let a guy see your collarbone. They will go wild. Although she is showing knee. Again, no feet. Pleasantly surprised by you, game. Maybe the artist just couldn't draw feet. I don't know. And then I suddenly remember. When I ran into her in the changing room last time, Saber didn't say anything. Sex does not matter for servants. She'd said that. Appearances hadn't mattered to her. Well, you see, hold on, I can't find the right words, my head's back. Come on, work, brain! So you're not mad, Saber? Oh, she's so blushy. Super blushy. No, we don't. We should keep the overlay thing over it. Definitely keep the overlay over it. There's nothing wrong with wanting to wash yourself. I have no right to limit my master's activities. I just keep staring awkwardly. TOS Tomberry, help me out, please. Thank you, buddy. I get it. Saber doesn't care what she looks like or whether she has clothes on or not. That's why it's not weird for me to be here. Bathroom is a place to wash one's body, so my presence isn't strange. Doesn't matter whether Saber's here or not, and knowing that helps. I have a feeling I'm wrong, very wrong. You are wrong. So then I don't think it'd be a problem if I, just use the shower right now. Sitting with you. Across from you, or maybe beside you? Collarbone action right there. She's not covering up the collarbone well enough. No, TOS Tomberry, we need you. Thank you. Cover up that collarbone. But I am saying, well, I'm not concerned about being seen. My body is not that of a younger girl like Ren. So her body is older than Ren's, so her body is like 17 then? Like, I'm trying to remember. Ren's a second year in high school, is that right? So probably like 15, 16? And if Saber's older, or her body is older. Her body is younger than Ren. Am I interpreting this correctly? My body is not that of a younger girl like Ren. I'm just assuming that means that, like, Saber's like 18. Because that's what she's telling me right now. Like, so I'm assuming like she's like 17, 18 or older. Yeah, that's the collarbone of someone who's at least 18. She blushes even more, tripping over her words. I do not want you to see too much of me. A man like you must find such a muscular body like mine unsightly. Saber? She sounds so bashful. I almost faint for just so many different reasons. You fool! I would never think that. Saber's body is a long way from unsightly. Says she's rugged, but that's never bothered me. Sure, she's more muscular than Tosaka, but still, I still think Saber's very feminine. After all, she's a girl! Shiro, this is why I would like you to leave me alone here. Later. I don't know how I responded. One thing I do want to check. Is there a split? No, there's not a split. So that tells me that this scene happens regardless of our affection level with Saber. Okay. That kind of surprised me. I thought that there could be a split here based on, like, if you had high affection points with Saber, or whether it be lower, depending on, to determine how that scene plays out. A little disappointing, but alright. I only remember just nodding slightly and just pulling the door closed. After, like, having so many intense days in a row, I'm so glad we're getting this, like, light day. Which probably just means the next couple of days are going to be hell. Day ends. Dinner was chaotic. Hello, Harkin. You just missed the bath scene. Congratulations. Your eyes have been saved. We did have TOS Tonberry to help us out, but I'm glad that we did not have to subject you to steamy, nakedy Saber. TOS Tonberry is truly the hero of the stream. Hope you're doing well, Hawken. Hawken is just like one of the nicest streamers in the freaking universe, and he's currently it's weird. Hawken was saying, I remember Harkin having a conversation on stream, just like talking about not wanting to play as many RPGs, and then Harkin just started deciding I'm going to play all the Wild Arms games. So he's not just like going one at a time. He's playing them all at the same time, like over a course of a week. I think 3's the only one he's not playing right now. I'm glad that you're having a lovely day, Harkin. Thank you for stopping in and enjoying some visual novel goodness. We're wrapping up a day in which totally didn't have awkward moments in a bathtub. Didn't have awkward moments. Maybe not lovey-dovey during sword fights. Maybe making a small child very angry and trying to abandon her, but the game wouldn't let me abandon her. Oh well. Maybe we'll get to abandon her in the future. You're working on a project, but I'm willing to listening to Amazing Vibes. Oh, thank you so much, Harkin. I hope work on your project goes very well as we get back to the land of the visual novel goodness. Ilya got chattier with each meal, and she and Tosaka have gotten to this weird point where I'm not sure whether they're fighting or being friendly. Saber's accepted Ilya's presence here, but she hasn't warmed up to her. And more than that, Saber gets pretty frowny whenever Ilya gets near me. It's super cute. These past few days have just been plain rough. The normal routine of just a few days ago has devolved into complete chaos. It steps silently out in the yard. Just about time for the calendar to roll over to the next day. I walk beneath the pale light of the moon, leaving faint puffs of white breath in my wake. For day 12. So we only got like 3 days left or so? Oh boy. And we got 3 servants to deal with. Ugh, we're gonna die. Next thing I know, I'm at work on my daily routine. I don't need to train out here since Sosaka's teaching me, but I still sit on the cold ground and check on the things I've been working on for so long. I'm not doing this because I'm worried about my skills. It's more that I find doing it soothing. I've been doing this for years, so just not doing it would be really weird. Trace on! I put even more effort into tonight's training. Sosaka told me not to do it anymore, but I can't do as she says. I'm not gonna listen to her. She's a meanie. She's a dumb teacher. I don't have to do what the teacher says. I'm a rebel. I'm a bad boy. Yeah. Teachers like bad boys? If I can master the projection thingy, it means I could be helpful to Saber. And the heat from earlier is still lingering within me. The night at the ruins, the battle in the forest, the golden sword I made. Residual heat still lingers in my hands, and deep down, I find myself hoping I'll be able to reignite the flames. Creation, philosophy, appraisal, activate! It's morphin' time! It's easy to recreate. At the time, I was so desperate and my mind was a jumble. Now I can retrace the necessary steps and form my incantation. No. From the very beginning, only been a single thing that could serve as a trigger for me. The pronunciation, the pronunciation is the same. Yeah, say the words right. That's exactly what we do. Just by changing my perception of how it's said, it'll become something entirely mine. My own original spell. Basic structure. Hypothesis. I know very well how dangerous this is. Sokka doesn't need to remind me. I really have no business going anywhere near projection. Completely beyond me. Venturing so brazenly into dangerous waters can only lead to death. End of hypothesis. Now, instant nothingness. Activate! I erase the blueprints in my head. A shadow falls across the door. Saber comes in, her frame blotting out the light of the moon. Good. You are here, Shiro. I could not find you, and I was worried something might have happened. Huh? No, nothing's happened. I couldn't sleep, so I came here to do some mental brain exercises. But once I finish, I'll head back to my room. You don't need to worry. I see. That is fine, then. Saber focuses on my forehead. You can probably see I'm dripping with sweat. Guess I need to take another bath. It's always like this. Don't worry. Mages have to practice their magecraft. And well, failure comes with the territory for an amateur like me. I wipe the sweat from my brow with the back of my hand. Oh! Christ. My sweat is as cold as ice. It's willing to sacrifice our love. I thought it was cold, but I don't remember the shed being this cold. Shiro, have you been doing this every day? Yeah, as much as I possibly could. It's a daily routine my old man taught me, though I should at least keep to it. As soon as I finish speaking, I regret my bluff. I regret telling her this is my daily routine. My intent was to boast and be super cool. But at the end of the day, my training isn't like just some chore to me. But it isn't the easiest of tasks either. Do you know how hard it is to shove rods into your spine? Actually, it's easier than you think. Saber says nothing. The moon hangs behind you. Its light spilling around her frame. Used to do it the hard way. I just used to ride my bike and take the seat off. The shed, plunged into bluish darkness, is illuminated by the few shafts of silvery light that make it past Saber. I recall the first night I met her. Saber, Sokka said something to me today. The moment felt just like a dream. Is it true that servants don't dream? I can't stop myself from asking. That is correct. We do not have dreams. Servants are spiritual forms, and so do not sleep to begin with. I am forced to sleep because I cannot turn into spiritual form, but I still do not dream. Can she still not turn into spiritual form? Like, I would have thought that since our bond happened, that she might be able to shift into spirit form, but I guess that's still not the case. But this morning you said... Sorry. No. Sinuses are a stupid thing. There's a brief silence. Closed her eyes, then apparently having made up her mind. The dream I had, Shiro. Yours. Master and servant are mentally connected. If the connection becomes strong enough, there are times when they will experience each other's memories. You dreamed of my past. Yes, it is tantamount to stepping into your mind, but I was not able to prevent it from happening. Please forgive me for that, Shiro. Don't. I did the same thing. Saber's past. In several scenes of her life before she became a servant. Don't be silly, it's not your fault. You can't help what you dream about. I have to apologize too. My past is pretty boring. Seeing something that boring probably makes you not want to have to sleep. No, this morning was the first such dream I had, and I did not see anything recent, so I did not infringe on your privacy as a young man. Saber is dead serious about that warning. Sadly, that privacy did get violated just a few hours ago. But it was a mutual thing, so no biggie. The privacy, well, yeah, sure, I've done my share of dumb things. That's a relief, but if you're saying you didn't see any recent memories, then how far back did you see? There was a large fire. That is all I saw. Her voice is quiet. Her gentle gaze tells me what she saw. That dream. I see, well, I don't know what to say. Did I say it was unfortunate? It's like going to a movie theater expecting to see a movie you know, but you somehow end up in the wrong theater and end up in a completely different show. I wonder what that weird glowing... Yeah, that was a weird thing in the back. I, personally, it's probably Sauron's tower. So, I think it's possible. It is straight up possible. Sauron could be Caster. Not out of the realm of possibility. It helped me understand. No, I have been thinking this for some time, but you have a dangerous side of you. Wait, what do you mean dangerous? Well, yeah, I'm sure the odds are pretty stacked against me, well, from your point of view. No, that is not what I mean. You are very similar to me. That is why I understand your mistakes. I can see what might happen to you if you continue on this path. I don't think I made any mistakes. I mean, I did try to send Ilya off to the church, and that was the right decision. We did the right thing, yeah. Sure, I failed plenty of times. I have gotten, like, 3 bad endings. But my goal is to be a champion of justice, like my old man. A goal like that, it can't be a mistake. No way! I am telling you, that is your mistake. Shiro, what happened on that day was not your fault. You cannot and should not take responsibility for it. There is nothing you need to redeem yourself for. Thank you for telling him this, Saber. But that's obvious. Just an accident. I was just a victim. Sure, I may be dealing with survivor guilt. Rin once said that your self-sacrificing and devotion are bizarre, and I agree. You are not sacrificing your life to save others. In fact, at no point did you ever consider your own life. Again, that moment where Shiro was confronted about his, like, practically suicidal ideations of just, like, charging into battle without thinking, like, that moment is, like, the highlight of this game for me. A point I did not think the game would go that deep into. And it still skirted around it, but, like, it addressed it enough that it's like, oh, thank you for saying what I've been thinking, game. Maybe my pupils have dilated. Not sure why, but I can't seem to focus on Saber's face. I just keep thinking about that collarbone. You will never be able to forget that accident. But as long as you remember it, you cannot change. Is that not extremely painful for you? Painful? For me? Well, yeah, it is painful. Saber doesn't have to remind me of that. It's obvious. Many people died. It was hell. Something like that causing you pain is only natural. Besides, if I didn't feel like that, I'd all be meaningless. Carry around that pain because you feel like you got to. You're right. It is painful to remember. But it's in the past now. There's nothing I can do about it. Yet, you keep dwelling on it, like you can do something about it. Saber doesn't answer. Instead, she claws at her arm in frustration. I must obtain the Holy Grail. That applies to you, Shiro. Saber? You require the Holy Grail. You summoning me was ultimately inevitable, Master. No matter which of the 3 timelines we are in, that is something that's pretty much guaranteed to happen, I assume. I don't know how to respond to that. I'm going to bed. Please do not strain yourself over much. Saber leaves. Fold my arms and think. Sit down in the thinking chair and think. Think. Do I need the Holy Grail? Vessel that grants wishes to the possessor. Vessel which contains unlimited quantities of magic energy, which is said nothing is impossible. Were I to get it, I could easily grant my wish. No, that's wrong. No matter how I look at it, I don't need the Holy Grail. No, I definitely don't need it. Because I don't have any wishes that can't come true, or hope for anything that's impossible. I wouldn't have a dream if it weren't something I could attain myself. The night grows darker. Familiar old shed, lit only by the moon, I listen to the distant wind. Gonna be a new moon soon. What the heck is gonna happen on a new moon? Ladies and gentlemen, we are on day 13. Ah, another midnight gone. Part 14, Moonlight. I was just talking about how it's going to be a new moon soon. We don't... And you call the chapter frickin' Moonlight? Really? Ah! Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me, game? Alright, so all of these were heart choices, and I didn't get a single heart. That's great. So, not a waste of a day, but from a game standpoint, a little bit of a waste of a day. Uh-oh. Oh, we're all gonna die. Oh well. Let's see who's still streaming at the moment. Also get a look at the cool pictures we just got. We got a lot of pictures. Oh! We only got 2 pictures. And we're missing 2 pictures here. What the heck could those be? Missing one there. Yeah, we're missing 3 pictures. So how the heck did that happen? Choices, obviously. Alright. Let's see who's still streaming at the moment so we can share a little bit of love. I need to go make some pasta. Yay, pasta. Gonna make nice pasta with nice pesto, put some bacon bits in it. Who is streaming at the moment? Lots of choices, lots of very good choices. Let's go hang out with Prisma. Prisma is one of my best friend's wives, and she is a VTuber streamer. Currently playing Crime Scene Cleaner. I kind of actually want to watch a little bit of that, so let's go hang out with Prisma Lynn. If you feel like participating in the raid, we do have raid commands. We've activated my raid card because branding. So they subbed and unsubbed version. I think I'm going to try to stream tomorrow. Probably stream tomorrow, probably around 3 o'clock or so Central Time. Considering how long I'm assuming these days are going to be, I doubt we'll be able to get through a day, but we'll try. We'll get as far as we can into day 13. Tweets up my message. Thank you so much to everyone who hung out today. This has been another fun one. I'm glad we got to have another like shenanigans day. The game was starting to get a little bit heavy, and I'm glad this was so sorely needed. It put me in a better place mentally. I just wish we could have had Taiga and Soccer. I miss them so much. Oh, I hope they're around in the other branches a lot more. All right. Thanks so much to everyone who hung out with us today, and until next time. Fare thee well. Ta-ta.